guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. And I'm here today to bring you a discussion video for One Piece, the best series in the world. That's only my opinion, but the best series in the world. But I just wanted to bring you another discussion video on the dreams of the the Straw Hats rather. Something that I've said previously is something that I reckon is completely forgotten in the story of One Piece, unless you're Mr. Monkey D. Luffy. And the reason why I think, just a quick little side note, the reason why I think that Luffy's dream is not forgotten is not only because he's always shouting it, I'm going to be the king of the pirates, but there's also other people within the One Piece story who have the same dream or are after the same goal. Maybe not as a dream, but after the same goal. So therefore, you kind of don't forget about Luffy's dream to become the king of the pirates. But with the other Straw Hats, this is not a thing at all, and simply because the other Straw Hats are not the main characters, their dreams are kind of sidelined and just forgotten about. So these videos that I'm going to be doing, if I do one for every other Straw Hat, is simply outlining a way that I have thought of that could make their dreams more involved in the story of One Piece and make it less of an afterthought. So I have decided to start off with the easiest one that I can think of, and that is Zoro. So, just a quick reminder of Zoro's dream. We know that Zoro's dream is to become the best swordsman in the world. And now I'm hoping he does this by defeating Mihawk. But there's people out there who think it's going to be another opponent. Shiri, I don't know who it's going to be. But at the end of the day, we can all agree on the fact that there has to be someone who at the time will be the number one swordsman who Zoro has to defeat to become the world's best to become the world's best swordsman. So what's the problem with Zoro's dream? There's no in between. There's no in between. There's just 0 to 100 or 0 to number 1. And I think that's where the problem lies. I think in order to have made Zoro's journey throughout the story better would have been if we have had, say, the top 10 swordsmen within One Piece. And the thing is, another problem with One Piece is, what is a swordsman? I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but what is a swordsman? Do we consider Big Mom a swordsman because she has, is that Napoleon? Is the hat on Napoleon? But you know what I'm talking about. Do we consider Kizaru a swordsman because he makes lightsabers to fight Rayleigh? So do we consider him a swordsman as well? Even Mr. One, who you probably considered a swordsman when Zoro and Mr. One had their fight, says to Zoro, don't consider me a swordsman. That ain't me. I'm not about that life. So we need to think about what is a swordsman really and truly, because at the end of the day, Oda has given certain characters swords to fight with, because in the pirate era, swords and guns, I think if it's the flintlock in particular, were the generic weapons of pirates. So in the same vein, I'm not trying to go off topic too much. Should we consider Blackbeard a sniper or a gunner because he's packing heat? But anyway, like I said, the best way you could have made, because I think it's too late now. It's way too late now. We're way too deep into the story. But the best way you could have made Zoro's journey, Zoro's dream, is to have had the 10 top swordsmen within the series, with obviously Mihawk or whoever has the title that Zoro has to being at the end. Zoro wouldn't have necessarily have had to have defeated all 10, but just to have them doing the journey as people that we know are prominent within the swordsman community within the story, because that's what we don't have. There's no in between. There's just Mihawk at top and no in between. So if we had these 10 or 5 or whatever number you want to have it laid out throughout the whole story, it would have been so much better. and it could have led to more exciting fights for Zoro, because even if he wasn't pursuing them, even if Zoro wasn't pursuing them, these could have been swordsmen that he came across on his journey, and we'd be like, oh my gosh, this is number 5 he's about to fight. How is he gonna fare? And it'll be a way for us to gauge just how much stronger or just how much better a swordsman Zoro is getting, because we have a more of a better way to gauge where he's at just by who he's facing. And these 10 or whatever number you've picked to satisfy your needs, I think 10 would have been a nice round number. Could have been spread out throughout the entirety of the story from East Blue to New World. However, I do feel like that if there was a top 10 or top 5 or whatever, they would probably be from, I want to say New World up, but I would say Grand Line up. And these people, these top 10 or whatever, they could have been from all fractions of life, all fractions of life. They could have been civilians, they could have been pirates, they could have been bandits, they could have been marines, they could have been revolutionary, they could have just been normal citizens. Of course, we would have had to have someone in one, but they could have been all from all fractions of life, fishermen, up in the sky from Skypiea, giants, whatever. We could have done so much more of this swordsman thing and have Zoro have loads of exciting opponents. But I was saying that how it could have been spread out throughout the whole story, so from East Blue to Grand Line. I mean, from East Blue to New World, East Blue to Rafter. But just to say, because I did say that I reckon it would have started from New World, it would have been a good place to start gauging where Zoro is, because really and truly, this whole thing came about to me is when I started to think about, okay, where is Zoro currently now compared to Mihawk? So, for example, we are now in Wonder Country arc. If I don't know what number to give, but regardless of what number you gave, if it was number 5, and then Zoro faced the number 5 best swordsman in the world, and he beat them with no difficulty whatsoever, you could say, oh, all right, cool. That must mean that Zoro is close to the world. He's close to number 1. He's almost getting there. So, or if he didn't beat them and there's like a hard fight, so you can say, all right, cool. Zoro's still got a ways to go before he can beat Mihawk or whoever's going to be sitting at number 1. Because right now, there is no way, absolutely no way to gauge where Zoro would stand when it would come to a fight with Mihawk. And I think that is everything I've got to say on the matter. So at the end of the day, to summarize, the best way you could have made Zoro's dream of his journey of to be the number 1 swordsman less of an afterthought in the series is if you had more swordsmen that were known within the One Piece world. Therefore, we could gauge where Zoro stands, be it the 10th best to the 1st best, which he won't be until the end of this series. But like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.